Welcome back to Tampa Bay Right Now. We continue with tonight's topic, bullying. Joining us now is Frank Roeder and Troy Locher. Hi, guys.
Hi.
They are the co-chairs of GLSEN Tampa Bay, an organization which strives to assure that each member of every school community is valued and respected, regardless of sexual orientation or gender identity expression. Welcome.
Thank you.
So, Frank, tell us about GLSEN, what it does, how it helps with the bullying epidemic.
GLSEN, Gay, Lesbian, Straight Education Network, is a national organization based out of Washington, D.C. and New York, and they have chapters throughout the country. We are the co-chairs of the Tampa Bay chapter.
Okay.
And what we are trying to do, working with National, is to create safer schools for everybody, regardless of sexual orientation or gender identity.
And what does GLSEN stand for?
Gay, Lesbian, Straight Education Network. And a lot of people hear gay and think, but the word straight is only two words away from it. So it's a partnership.
Yeah, and that's important, is that
very important.
Everyone can be bullied, and
Correct.
we need an organization like this that makes everyone feel a part of the same community, regardless of
Safer schools for all. That would include
Right.
employees as well.
Oh, right. So that's true. Some people don't even think. We were talking in the earlier segment about this attacks every age group.
Oh, yeah.
So there are adults out there that also get bullied, which we need to always keep in mind. So tell us, what are the most common types of bullying, Troy?
The most common that happens in school is verbal harassment, and a recent study done by GLSEN showed that in Florida, 4 out of 5 kids have been verbally harassed based on their sexual orientation.
Right.
Physical harassment, such as shoving, pushing, things like that, happens less frequently, but still far too frequently, and happens to about 3 out of 10 LGBT students in a year. And then physical assault is even more harsh, but it still occurs like 1 out of 5
Right.
LGBT youth.
And then cyberbullying, of course.
Right. Yeah, with Facebook and Twitter and all
Yep.
these social media groups,
Yeah.
it's so easy to even attack an entire group of people. You just put something out there on the internet, and I think people don't realize that once it's out there, you can't take it back.
Right.
So, and that's really important too, is to talk about that cyberbullying issue and how there's a face behind that computer that you're affecting. It's not just a screen. It's not just, empty words. So tell me, why do you think that this is on the rise? Why do you think it's become such an epidemic?
I think the suicides that happened last year kind of raised the awareness of it. It's been a problem for a long time.
Right.
However, it's always been kind of, well, boys are going to be boys and those kind of things. It's kind of pushed under the rug. I think, if anything, now we're a little bit more tuned into it and aware of it, because even if one student dies, that's one too many.
Absolutely.
And, if we can do some things, and it's not what a school can do, it's what a community can do. We have to work with parents. We have to work with teachers. We have to work with the other students. We have to bring everybody together. It's to create a culture at a school, a school climate that is conducive to acceptance of everybody.
Right, and zero tolerance.
Correct.
So that we can all join together. And I think that one thing that's important is witnesses in this. And, you have the victim, you have the bully, and then sometimes we forget we can be a witness to this.
The bystanders are probably the biggest part of it,
Right.
because the bystanders can change the whole climate.
Right.
If the bully no longer has an audience that's positive to his actions,
Right.
it changes his behavior.
Absolutely. I've
drastically.
heard the term safety in numbers
Yep.
used a lot. So if you get a group of people who are on your side, that one bully or even a few bullies aren't going to want to stand up against that kind of group.
Right.
They target people that are alone. They target people
Yep.
that are by themselves and don't have a group of friends to help.
And for kids to make a real difference, change that peer norm, make it not acceptable within your own group, and be that leader, and that can really make a big difference.
Right. Where does bullying, would you say, where does it happen most often? Is it in schools?
Oh, yeah. And I would say probably middle school is the worst.
Okay.
However, it goes all the way down to kindergarten.
Sure.
We hear stories all the time, and of course in the high school. But I think middle school is where it's almost allowed more than any other school, the age group.
Kids are trying to learn how to socialize differently, and they fall into these negative ways to gain social power or social acceptance. And what we need to do is really help promote pro-social behaviors, show and model the way to interact positively with people, and also very important, especially to GLSEN, is to not be silent on issues related to gender expression, sexual orientation, any type of bias-based bullying.
Well, in middle school also, kids are going through so many changes anyway.
Yes.
Right.
So, you know, psychological and physical. So to add on that extra pressure of trying to maybe be someone else or feeling like you don't fit in, all of those just add to, you know, what eventually could lead to pretty destructive behavior.
Exactly.
So we do have to be aware of that.
And one of the things GLSEN has done is developed this Safe Space Kit.
Right.
And this Safe Space Kit, the goal GLSEN has is to have one in every secondary school within the United States within the next 3 years.
Okay.
I'm working with Pasco and Hillsborough County to get them in the school system this year, and hopefully in Pinellas County, you know, as quickly as possible as
Right.
well. But basically what this kit does is helps teachers create a safer classroom environment for all. And I keep saying for all because it's not a gay thing.
Right.
It's a classroom environment for safety for everybody.
Right.
And so hopefully we'll have a kit like this in every single school in Tampa Bay very shortly.
And so that way the teachers can use that as a guide.
It's a resource, yes.
Right. To kind of, and who created this?
This was actually developed by GLSEN,
Awesome.
GLSEN National.
That's fantastic. Thank you both so much for being here. I know this is a really important issue, so I'm really glad that we're talking about it. And you'll be back, so don't go away. Coming up next, we'll be talking more solutions for bullying with Frank and Troy. After this on My TV Tampa Bay.